What's up, ladies and gents? It's your boy Lou Streets, and I'm back with another segment of LS Vision. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Now, if you're a first-time viewer and you're looking forward to tips and tutorials on how to improve the quality of your gaming content channel, I suggest you hit that subscribe button. Come join the LSV family. So if you're at all familiar with the LSV channel, then you know that I take thumbnails pretty serious on my channel. I try to make them very eye-catching and relatable to the videos being presented. And lately, a lot of people have been asking me, how do I come up with some of these things? So what I've decided to do is, we're gonna make a thumbnail from scratch in this video. However, because I have a foundation of ideas due to previous games I've played, we're gonna do it for a game that I've never played. So I decided that game is gonna be Street Fighter V, because I'm not familiar with the story in the new games. I'm not familiar with the artwork or the style or the maps or any of that. So what I'm gonna do is, we're gonna make this completely from scratch, and I'm gonna show you guys some of the tools that I use in Adobe Photoshop, as well as the internet, and how I combine them and come up with these things, while also providing some commentary off the top as far as what I'm doing. Nothing too elaborate, but just to give you guys an idea how these things come together. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing we doing, we got Photoshop open, so you definitely wanna open up a new project, and I always suggest starting with 1280 by 720 on the pixels. You can save this as a preset, which I have saved for a YouTube thumbnail. That's the perfect size for your thumbnail picture. It's zoomed out, so let me zoom that in a little bit. I'll do about that distance. So first thing we're going to do is, what did I say? We're doing Street Fighter V. So let's try to find some maps or something like that, like the background. Like, this is a large element of what I like to do. Street Fighter V maps. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I forgot Street Fighter V, not just Street Fighter V maps. So let's see what here is in 1080. And usually when I grab these things, like if you look down here at the bottom left corner, 1920 by 1080. So I try to find like a cool map or a cool background or something that represents the game. Do I like this one? Guile's classic stage. This looks fancy. I think I'm gonna go with this one just because the lighting's kind of cool. So yeah, let's go with this. Let's go with this one right here. Let's save this one. Maybe I'll save some other ones just for comparison. You got, that's 1920 by 1080. Let's save that. And if you don't know how to save this, right click and then save image to downloads. That's where you want to put this stuff at. Let me see if there's one more map. Okay, between these three, we're gonna go with those comparisons. Those all look pretty good. And they look like to be some odes to the traditional stages, so we're gonna go ahead and go with these. So let me save that. Okay, so we got that in place, right? Let's see if we can find one we like out of the three to sit in Photoshop. So let's minimize that. Downloads where we save this at. What we got here? I'm gonna start with this one first because I do like how this one looks the best. Let's see what we got. Not bad at all. Still in high resolution. I'll move it up to the left a little bit and stretch it just so it can cover the edges. Yeah, and that's still pretty solid resolution. So okay, we're gonna go with this. We're gonna go with this. And I'm thinking character-wise, Guile? What about Guile? No. You know what? Who are two of the most recognizable faces in Street Fighter V? Or Street Fighter, period? Like Ryu and Ken? How about Ryu just to Ryu to represent the guys, and then we're gonna go with Chun-Li. Street Fighter V, Ryu transparent PNG. Let's see if we can find something dope out here. Let's see what we got. I've seen this picture before. Is that a true PNG? Hold on, what we got over here? That's not a true PNG. Hold on, let me go back to that initial one. That wasn't the one I was looking at. Let me go back to the true. Where was that picture at? Was it? Well, let's go back. Let's check out this one. That looks on the money. Is that a real PNG? I love the resolution of that. Let's say that. Let's check that out. First of all, let me just see if it's a real PNG. Downloads. It is a real PNG. Okay, so we're gonna use that. We're gonna take that to Ryu. So let's drag that in, see what we got here. Not bad at all. A little bit of contrast to the stage, but I'll try to make them brighter or something like that. So let's get that. Let's drag this up so we don't see the fade out of his body at the bottom. And the thing that's dope about like when you find a cool PNG that's like an actual good 1080 is because you see how I made this larger. I'm gonna actually zoom it in. You see how I made this larger and it doesn't lose any resolution? So we got some with this. That looks pretty cool. Let's go try to find one to Chun-Li. So that was Ryu. Let's take a look at Ken first. What about Ken? Do Ken got a big dope picture like that one? Kind of similar to that one? Nah, I don't see nothing out the gate. And I don't want to drag this forever, wasting camera time with this. Let's check Chun-Li right quick. Let's see if Chun-Li got something that's big like that, big in high def. And if it's a true PNG. I'm not gonna do full body. I kind of want to zoom in similar to Ryu's. Is that a true zoom in? Is that gonna lose resolution? It does look sweet. Let me see if I can find something a little cooler. Somewhere she like in a fighting pose almost. That's not the same style. I want something similar to that style that Ryu has. I'm thinking about this zoom in right here, probably of them all. Let's save that and see if that's a true one. And maybe I'll also look for something for Guile too, just in case. Cause I want some with that serious style that Ryu has over here. Let's take a look for Guile. But this is how I usually do these. Like, I'll go find some characters I like, and this is what I mean from scratch. I'll go find some characters I like and try to come up with something smooth. What's the resolution on that? I like this a little bit for Guile. Or you know who I'm thinking of? How about Akuma? Let's see if Akuma's out there. Let's see if Akuma's got a big dope one like the one for Ryu. Cause I like that one for Ryu a lot. If he's got that same angry style. Not this one. Oh, that might be perfect. That might be perfect. Yeah, I think I like that. So let's save this. Let's save this for Akuma. I think I like that one. Let's see if there's any other one worth glancing at right quick. I don't think so. I think we might have hit the lottery with that one I just saved. Let's go take a look at that. Let's put it in there. Yeah, let's take a look at this one first and just compare it. Let's see what we got for Akuma. So, Akuma PNG looks high quality. Yep, it fits. Yeah, that's the same kind of angry style. Got that similar color. Let's drag it up so it can be a little more even. And I mean, you see how this is coming together already. This looks pretty solid. I haven't even made any adjustments, and already we got like a foundation to build from. And this is for a game I've never played. This is a game I've never played. I don't have a style in mind. Like, I usually have a style in mind for my Mortal Kombat and for my Dragon Ball stuff, but I don't have a style in mind because I never played this game. We're gonna go over here and flip this horizontal so they can face each other. So we go to free transform, flip horizontal. Do I want it that way? Did I like it the other way? Let me flip Akuma's. Let me see if I flip Akuma's and maybe flip Ryu's back to the original. There's something that looked funny to me about that, even though it's just a flip. Yeah, how about this? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna flip this over, and we're gonna trade spots on these. So let's flip that horizontal back to where it was. I kind of like the shoulder to shoulder. The only reason I don't like the shoulder to shoulder is because it's a little bit of fade out on Akuma's elbow. So we're gonna just trade spots. We're gonna trade spots just like this. So that way we can get a little more room for some cool text in the middle. Now, so we got that right. So boom, now you see we got a foundation already. How far should I bring this out? I want it to snap right there. That's perfect. So we got Akuma, we got Ryu, about the same height. Maybe bring Ryu up just a little bit so their heads can match. Let's scale that up just a little bit. Put that down. Yeah, I mean, but so look at this. We already got, I've only been working on this 8 minutes and we already got a decent foundation just to work from like that. Let me, let's make a comparison with the backgrounds and see. So we got this background. I'm not mad at how that looks. Let me check these other two backgrounds that we downloaded. We got that one. We got the river one, and we got the, let's try the river one first. I kind of like how that looks. Let's put that on bottom and see what we got. What you guys think? I might be feeling the first one. Let's take the third one for comparison with the military base, Guile's old classic stage. Slide that down. Oh, this might be the best one of them all. This might be the most fitting. Let's drag that up and see what we got here. And as far as like testing, when you want to compare like this, all you do is if you take a look right here where the mouse is, all you do is pretty much turn off the eyeballs. And so like I have them layered up. So technically this one's on top, but since I'm taking out the eyeballs, it makes them disappear, so I can get a comparison. Let me see. I kind of like the guy with the background. That don't look bad. That's got like a much more colorful, beautiful look, which is kind of fits Dragon, or not Dragon Ball, excuse me, but Street Fighter's theme. And then we got this. I don't like that one at all, so we can scrap that. We're not gonna keep this one. I don't like this one at all. So it's between these two. So let's delete that layer. Okay, we got this one, or we got this one. I think just because of the darkness of Akuma, I kind of like this one best. So I'm a roll with this one. If you guys disagree in the comments, let me know. But we're going a little bit for style, so you can see how I make these things. But this is more kind of like ideology of how I put this together. So just kind of focus on the functions. It does look cool, but let's focus on the functions. So something I like to do to make the characters a little more visible, because they're going to be the ones battling in my video. We're going to make this a make-believe video that Ryu is fighting Akuma in a really dope set. So I'll go to adjustments, right? You go to adjustments. I got Akuma highlighted, so we're only focused on him right now. Now we're gonna hit a brightness adjustment. Now watch this. If I scroll up, you see the whole thing changes, and we don't want the whole thing to get bright. We just wanna brighten up the character. So what you're gonna do is, we right click on brightness and contrast. When we pick adjustments and put in brightness and contrast, it puts this little layer right above it with the brightness and contrast adjustment. We're gonna right click, create a clipping mask. Now when I move it, only Akuma brightens up, and that's what we want. We just want him to be a little more visible with the background a little more darker so he stands out. And I'm not gonna do it too much, just a little bit. We brought up to like 35. And we're gonna apply this same method to Ryu's layer. So right over here, we highlight Ryu, right click, or we're not gonna right click, we go to adjustments again. We're gonna hit brightness and contrast for Ryu. Now you see that same layer that's above Akuma right here. Now we had that same layer above Ryu. So we right click, create a clipping mask, and then let's try to brighten up Ryu just a little bit to make him stand out. Get him on par with Akuma. I put Akuma at 35. Ryu seems naturally a little bit brighter, so we going, well, that's about 35 right there. We're gonna put him about 34-ish. So now look at this. Now we have a base foundation. So now the only thing that we gotta do, let's hit the background. See if we can put a brightness adjustment on the background, but I think what I'm gonna do is add some more contrast to it, just so it'll make the character stand out a little bit more. So if I don't like it, I'll just delete it. But again, we go to adjustments, and this is very minimal editing. Like, this is very basic, but you see we got a cool picture. This looks like a cool thumbnail already, and we haven't even added the text to add a little more flavor to it. So hit brightness, again, clipping mask. Now this time what I'm gonna do is let's move the contrast a little bit. You see how we move the contrast up, make it a little bit darker, and I might even bring the, I don't know, I'm not gonna bring the darkness down. I'm gonna leave it at 0, but we're gonna bring that contrast up. That way the darkers become a little more dark and the brights become a little more bright if we do this at about 20, and it makes my character stand out a little bit more, so now they feel like they more in the foreground and that there's genuinely a background behind them. It's not all on the same plane. Now we got a base foundation right here, so if I zoom this out, and look at the resolution on that. Like when it's zoomed in closer, it makes it a little more grainy so you can't see it, but just look at what we have right now without text. Now tell me that doesn't look awesome, or if you wasn't scrolling and looking to catch some Street Fighter footage that you wouldn't particularly or potentially click on this and check it out. Because I think that looks interesting. And this is a game I've never played, so I don't even know the style or the flavor, but look what we have just off using Adobe Photoshop and the internet. So now let's add a few more things for flair. So the next thing I like to do, and you notice this a lot in most of my thumbnails, I'll try to find a PNG of the logo of the game. So let's go back to the internet, Street Fighter 5 logo PNG. Let's see what we can find. See if we got a high quality one. Oh yeah, boom, right there out the gate. Is that a true PNG? Let's take a look. Let's download that. Save image to downloads. Take a look. Yep, it's a true PNG because you see it's all white, it has no background, so we can minimize the internet again. We're gonna drag this on in. We can put that right in the middle, make it look cool, but just drag it down so it's not overpowering, but just so anybody scrolling by know that we're advertising a Street Fighter 5 video. So let's center that a little bit. Seems like my center to be right here. I mean, that's perfect. Look at that. That's on the money where it needs to be. We put that on the top layer so it stands out. We could even do this. Hit a little Double click for our blending options on the layer. In case you didn't notice this, right here is the PNG for the Street Fighter logo right here. So we double click on this, on the layer that it's actually in, give it an outer glow. And sometimes what I like to do to make a logo stand out so people can see it, just add some black and just make it small. It ain't gotta be massive, but just a little bit of black. That little bit of black on the edge, it makes it stand out apart from the characters, so now people can see it. So boom, we have that right there. So now we got a Street Fighter 5 logo. So what could we call this? What could we call? Let's give it a dope title. Street Fighter 5 what? The Final Showdown. How about the Final Showdown? Nah, that's a lot of letters. What do I want to call it? What do we want to title it? Because I want to put some big text right there in the bottom middle. So what do we want to call it? Street Fighter. We got Akuma versus Ryu. I know Akuma's kind of like an evil, more powerful version of what Ryu would be. I know they both do similar moves. What's that? They got the dragon uppercut. Let's call it the Dragon Duel. Why not? Let's just call it the Dragon Duel, just for shits and giggles. Dragon Duel. So we're gonna go to text. We open up a text box, drag it real big. The text is kind of hard to see, so we're gonna type dragon. And I usually like to work off two different styles. So the first one, we're gonna type dragon. I like to make it visible by putting it in white, and we're gonna work from there. So we got dragon right here. We're gonna put that in white so we can see it. We're gonna enlarge it. Dragon Duel is what I want to name it. Now we just gotta figure out, let's slide this up for a minute. First of all, we want to figure out where we want to put the dragon and what font. But let's start with the font first, and then we're gonna work some colors in there. Let's make this smaller so we can see more of the text as we just scrolling through some of the things that we have available. And you also need to go download you some custom fonts and import them if you don't have them. iMac comes with a lot, but you always want to go out there and scroll for some more. Places like 1000fonts.com, dafont.com. It's a lot of different ones to just give you some cool stuff that you can work with. Oh, so look at this. So you see how these letters look? And then you see how the V looks in the Street Fighter logo. I think I'm gonna roll with this just based on the fact that that A has that pointy. It like reminds me of the V upside down. So we're gonna roll with this. We're gonna roll with this font right here. So now we got dragon. What I say, Dragon Duel. I got an even cooler idea, but I don't know if I want to do it that way. We're gonna try this one or two different ways. I'm thinking about putting dragon, because it would be 1D. I wouldn't like it. No, so we're gonna go with it. I was thinking about doing like 1D for dragon and duel and putting them right next to each other, but because of how long dragon is, I think I ain't gonna like it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna enlarge the size of this font some, and then let's find some colors to play with. So what I like to usually do, I'll start with a stroke just to make it stand out, a black stroke, and I just work from there. So we just get us a black stroke just so we can see it visibly. Make the black stroke about a 5, just so we can visibly see it. And then what I tend to like to do is a lot of times I like to work with the gradient overlay. So let's zoom this in a little bit because I don't want too much of a gap. Not that close, maybe like a -10 on the spacing. And so now we're gonna try to get us a nice gradient going here. So what I'll do is I'll highlight dragon. You see we have this highlighted again. If I click the eye, it changes. So we got this highlighted. We're gonna go up here to layer, go down to layer style, gradient overlay, and now we're gonna come up with a gradient. Ryu has a little bit of red in his colors, and Akuma has that blue. So let me cancel this out for a minute. We're gonna use the eyedropper tool and get us some colors. So where is the eyedropper tool? Right here. We're gonna click that. We're gonna click this to get that red from Ryu. It's kind of hard to get that red. Let's get the red from his bandana. How about that? That's not terrible. So let's get that. Let's copy that color in. Then we're gonna go back over to the dragon text. Go back to layer. Go back to layer style. Go to gradient overlay. And so what we're gonna do is take this out because this is saved in from my last edit. We're gonna double click over here on this arrow so we can change the color. If it ever registers, we're gonna double click over there. Copy and paste from the last one we just did, then work from there. So that's kind of a dark red. I wanna bring it up just a little bit to make it more visible. I'm gonna try to work in the red off of Ryu, maybe. and then that same blue from Akuma. So we got the red in there. Let's press OK on this so we can use the teardropper or the eyedrop tool to get Akuma's blue. It's kind of a midnight blue, so let's try to get one of the lighter parts of the text, the lighter parts of his gi. So we got that. We double click here again, copy that, cancel that out. We're gonna go back to the gradient overlay. Now we have the gradient overlay in, so you would edit from the layers menu. So we're gonna double click gradient overlay, open this up. Now we're gonna go over to the green. Let's copy in Akuma's midnight blue and then work from there. So now you see we got this, so this matches them, right? So because we have one on one side and one on the other, a lot of times I like to do it like kind of opposites of them. Sometimes I work it with them, sometimes opposite. So we got this set to linear. So we have our gradient right here. We got this set to linear. We got it on 100 scale, right? So what we're gonna do is, let's work it. Let's put the red on Akuma's side and the blue on Ryu's side. And sometimes if you can't see it or doesn't feel that visible, just slide down to less visible color, like so. So you slide that in like that, boom. So we got the half and half. Do I want a third color? Let's see if we can work a small amount of orange in the middle. So we're gonna click right here to add a third color in, and let's see if we can capture some of that Street Fighter orange in the middle, or if that's just asking too much. I don't love that. Let's slide it in. Let's make it smaller. I'm not mad at it, but I don't love it. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Let's do that. Okay, we can keep that. Now let's slide the blue down so we can have the more dominant colors from the characters. Let's slide the red in. Let's just compact that yellow right there in the middle, right? So we got that. I kind of want to make it, what is that? That's 6 letters. So we can kind of meet in this area right about there. Let's work that about right there. I can go okay with that. So now we got that on each side. And if you don't like how that looks and you want to flip flop it, we got 183, just swing it to this side. Do we like it better this way? No, I think I like it better the original way. So we're gonna keep it, what did I have it on? 183. Let's type in 183, that's what I had it on. So we're gonna keep 183 right there. So we got that. So let's enlarge this just so we can see it. Make it a little more visible, not that big. We'll go about 48. 48's pretty big. Let's go about 44. And we've been working on this 20 minutes, so it's not crazy long. About 44. And then let's just add another stroke to make it stand out. So what I like to do is add another stroke. Let's put some white on the inside. This is something I go to a lot. If you look through some of my stuff, you will see it a lot. Put a white on the inside, just make it smaller, and now look, dragon stands out a little bit more. It's got a cool look to it. You can see the word dragon. Let's slide this up. Let's slide that up higher so we can bring this up more to the middle so it's visible. Give it a little bit of spacing. Let's see if I want to converge this some. Nah, I like the where it was originally at. I liked it at -10. So we leave that at -10. We got the Street Fighter logo centered up. Make sure you look at your rulers so you can see that this is centered up on inside the G. And then let's find a way to put dual down here. Do I want to go with that? Let's put an outer glow on this. Let's just put an outer glow on dragon. Just to kind of, I normally would use black, but since we got the black on the outside already, I'm not going to do it. So let's find a better color just to make that kind of hit. And it could be something bright, you know. Street Fighter is a very bright game, it seems, by all accounts. We can do dragon, and let's just make it smaller so it's not so over the top. Do I like that? I don't like that much. A little bit of red. Let's slide that on up. Let's find a better color. I don't like that color. How about that dark purple? I'm not mad at the dark purple. It's kind of overshading the black, but the black really ain't that important. I'm trying to find one I like. Green, yellow. Oh, not bad. The orange. The orange. Yeah, we can work the orange in. Dragon. All right, let's put dual in and see what we got here. I want to put dual in because the video already longer than I want it to be. But I mean, even as far as that goes, we still have a pretty cool looking thumbnail. Like, I would normally take longer on these, but just for reference sake, I'm trying to keep it fairly quick. So let's put dual in here. I'm not gonna use that font because we used it already. Let's center that up. Let's slide that back to the middle so it can be even. And more than likely when I change this font, it's gonna lose its evenness, but that's cool. We're gonna find a font we like first, and then we're gonna go with dual at the bottom. So first, let's find something we like. I kinda want something that's noticeable, but not crazy big since we did dragon so big. Let me just find the font that I'm interested in that we can work from that kind of fits the style of what we're looking at already. Not that, not that, not that. I feel like dual should be small, but we'll see. We just gonna fill this one out because I don't know where I wanna go with it just yet. I don't got a particular font in mind. And this is kind of what I mean about coming up with some off the fly, because the fact that I don't have something in mind and we're already this far along when I didn't know what this was going to look like when we started, this kind of shows you that it's not that hard to make an awesome thumbnail. It's just about making things sizable and interesting, you know? Oh, I like that one. Do I like that one? I think I like that one. Let's check this out. Let's make this a little bit larger. Drag and dual like that. I don't love it. Let's find a different one. Let's find a better one. Too big, too big. Because I made the size larger. That's why. Let's make it a little bit smaller again. And I'm gonna try to find one fairly quick. Oh, that might be the one. Let's go with adventure. Yeah, we're gonna go with adventure. So we're gonna go with that. We're gonna make this a little bit larger just so it's visible. And it's big enough, but it's still centered enough where it's cool. Now let's give this let's put this in red. I mean, it's the word dual. We talking about a battle, and we can work from there. If I don't like red, we switch it to something else. So let's go with another stroke, black and white. I'm not necessarily mad at that. Let's flip flop this. What if we put the white on the inside and the black on the outside? How would I feel about that? Not terrible, but I think I liked it better the other way around. So let's cancel that out. Let's open it back up. Dual in red. What if we just left dual in red? A little bit of stroke on the inside. What's the number? We're gonna put the number at 4. No, I actually like 5. We're gonna go with 5. Now, I could pretty much virtually say that this is done. Let's make the font 40. We can pretty much say that this is done. Now, I don't know what you guys think, but personally, if I saw this, I would click on this thumbnail just out of interest, and then I can even toss some outer glow of black behind this just to make the blue stand out a little bit, make the word stand out a little bit more. And there we have a thumbnail. And if I wanted to change the black on that, let me go back to the stroke. Let's add one more stroke on the outside of it. This is the out. Let's do outside, and let's make that smaller, just so if we put the white on the outside, it'll make the black drop shadow stand out even more. Or matter of fact, we can get rid of that. We can get rid of the last stroke, and we can do this instead. Let's give it a drop shadow. Let's take the outer glow off. Give it a little bit of a drop shadow. Make the spread decent, and boom, we got it right there. Now, I don't know. You guys tell me. So this is the final one. I'm gonna flip it over just so we can kind of see it in full screen size. And then the last thing I would do is just add a LSV PNG. Okay, you guys, so that's gonna pretty much conclude this video. As you can see, we just try to take different elements from different places with the internet, the background, the PNGs, and just put it together, make some pretty cool visible text, and try to see if we can come up with something. Now, as I said, I don't have any foundation of playing that game, so I don't know what the fans associate with Street Fighter V art style wise, or what really catches their eye when it comes to that game. That's just me kind of winging it and coming up with some things and put them together and try to make something awesome. I know some of you guys be like, how do I get the perfect picture? How do I get the perfect text? You just gotta take different elements, put some stuff together, make it look as awesome as you can, and then make an associated title. So what I want to know, and I want you guys to let me know in the comments, if you were scrolling on YouTube and you were looking for some Street Fighter V content and you saw this thumbnail and then the title was like the most epic battle between Akuma and Ryu, would you be willing to click that video and see what it's about based on the thumbnail itself? That's the idea we're trying to go for. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. I hope you guys did like the video, and if you did, please hit the like button for me, and of course hit subscribe. I'll be back in the future with more content, some tutorials, some gameplays, some reviews. But with that being said, we're pretty much done for now. Until the next time, it's your boy Louie. Peace. Make sure in the comments to let me know if you would click on this video based on that thumbnail. That was the whole point of this. Catch you guys next time. Peace out.